Hello everyone, it's Marie, and I finally got my photos into my album from CAH5, and I really wanted to share it for a couple of reasons. It has photos in it from my trip to France last September, and but the layouts are just absolutely gorgeous. So I'll try and show you. I have my camera up as far as it'll go, so hopefully we'll get through this and we'll see the whole thing, right? Okay, so I did the Francesca album. I still need to put a featured photo in there. This is like a simple waterfall that I did of, and this is the painting group. These are all the photos from the painting, and I used the corners off the geometric one that really goes with Leon, but this, so it fit, and I have room to journal on the back of these. This is the place we stayed at. It was really gorgeous. This is in the little town there, little church. This is an old laver, which is a wash house. Beautiful sunsets we had there. Linda and I shared this room. It was gorgeous, just gorgeous. And it was a working mill at one point, water mill. So the water ran underneath of it. And it was just so pretty there. This was one of our guides. She was French. And this was the other one. And she is from Oregon. And this is Cindy and Teresa. And they're friends, and they were the painters. And this is my friend Linda, and this is Diane, who is going, so three of us will be on the same plane and track when we go to Sicily this September. So this two-page spread is done with these flip-out pages, and again, it's in the little village that we stayed in. Here's Linda painting. This was dinner. We had the best food. And this, I met the vice mayor in the town, and he and I had a little conversation in French English. And there's more pictures of the place. This is me, the French guide. Her name was Marie. And so it was Marie and Marie. And the church, this little piece that's cut out, these were inscriptions done by the founding people in the town from the 1400s. And this little square is at the Louvre. So that was kind of fun. And someday I'm going to paint that church. And then this is more from the town. And our little visit to, this was Van Gogh, and I took pictures of mailboxes, because, yeah, of course. And this is the new waterfall dye. This was from a little hotel there that the artists all worked there, Monet and they had a little studio at the back. We'll get to that. And then this is inside the church, the stained glass windows. This is Joan of Arc that was put in. This church is from the 1400s. That was put in when Joan of Arc became a saint, and it was called Saint Germain. And this is Saint Germain. This, under this floor, was a crypt where actually, like the rich in the town were buried underground. And this is me painting, me behind Teresa, the teacher. And then this is where Van Gogh painted, and this was one of the teacher's paintings of the church. I haven't quite finished my painting yet, but we sat and painted, and he painted this church so many times, but when he died, the church would not bury him or have a funeral because they believed he committed suicide, which was kind of sad. the whole visit there was kind of sad. This is where he painted. We stopped at this because he painted so many sunflowers. There's so many sunflower fields there. I know there's glare to this. And then this is the crows, the ravens, painting that he did. Was out in this field that we walked. And then this is that little studio I told you about where they painted behind. This was the steps going up to the church. This is inside that studio. They're still maintaining it. Some of the scenes around the town. And I kind of mixed stuff up here because this is out of Monet, his pond. We had lunch. This was one of the ladies that we met, and we had the Hotel Body is where that studio was, and this is the restaurant associated with that. This is the Hotel Body, and we all stopped at this little hat shop that was really cute. And over here we have another waterfall, and just scenes from the village. This is where Van Gogh and his brother Theo were buried. They were very bonded, and so Theo's wife, after they died, had him buried together, and they planted ivy, which has been maintained because ivy joins together like the brothers were bonded. And then this is a scene from the pond, Lily Pond, and in Giverny, and this is the door to that studio. This is all of us on the steps going up to that studio. And this is me in front of the Hotel Body. And then this is another waterfall, and these are all from Monet's garden. They are just amazing. It was pretty hot that day we were there. This is Cindy's the teacher's painting of that. I painted it, but I'm going to repaint it because I'm not happy with it. I picked up a ton of bookmarks when I was there because they were just a way to remember the art. And I found that putting them in my scrapbook here is a good idea. And so this is in the town again, and this is another mill that used to be operational. And these little towns in France get rated by how clean they keep it, and they're either allowed to keep, how many flower baskets they can have on their poles is by their rating, if they're 1, 2, or 3. And then this is that lavoir again from the side, the wash house. And then this is me and the teacher, Cindy. I really bonded with her. I just really enjoyed her. And she took this picture of me with my French hat that I had to have. And then there's, up here, there's inserts of more paintings, pictures. So there's 4, I used both sides of that. This is a watercolor rendition of me with that hat. There's a app, if you're interested, called Waterbrush, and it's kind of nice that you can do that. Someday I'll paint myself. I've never painted myself. That's kind of hard, right? Looking at yourself and painting yourself. So I still have room for more photos in here. And then this is the entrance to the place we stayed at, and it was just gorgeous. It was a huge facility. They do a lot of weddings and stuff, and it's so pretty there. This was our painting studio. This was from our balcony. The sunset was gorgeous. This was the chateau in that town, which is now a B&B. It's getting dark. Looking back at the mill. This is me and Linda on our balcony, frizzed out because it was hot and muggy. And then these scenes move on. These are, see how everybody told me to look up. And I did that when I was there. and just so many beautiful things there that are so worth. What am I doing wrong here? I'm doing the wrong angle. Let's see if I can get this back in here. Oh, there. I see what I did. I cut apart a border from a previous crop at home. This is one of those pink doilies that cover the full page, and I gutted the middle, and then I used the middle as the base for the waterfall. And then this is when we went to Versailles. Linda and I got out there really early because we wanted to get in line early. Well, the sun was just coming up, and they let us walk through the garden, and it was just absolutely gorgeous seeing the sunrise there. And then this is the Hall of Mirrors, and a lady helped us directed us how to get there early so we could take, some good pictures. Here's another sunrise picture. It was just so pretty. Hall of Mirrors. Oops, sorry. Go back here. Linda at breakfast. It was like a little tea shop almost in one of the rooms that they had done. And I just fascinated by the color and the peacefulness and imagining that I could never live there because it was too big. This is a postcard I bought, which is better than any photo I could have taken, right? Because there's always people. This is the ceiling again that I took. I took a lot of ceiling pictures. And then this opens up again. And whenever there was a new king, there was ceremony in here. This was one of the side halls, ceiling, one of the bedrooms. I think this was one of the daughter's bedrooms, if I remember right. And this ties up. Yeah, I didn't do the loops on these. I did bows to hold them more solid. And then this is Linda and me with the sunrise in the background. It was like a special moment. This is a postcard, and this one folds out this way. So here's another shot of it with Linda wanting to take her glasses off. And then this is the Hall of Mirrors again. Another one of, I'm not going to be able to get that in there. Another one of the hallways. Here's the fountain. Here's me in the tea room. And then this way. Oh, this was also in the morning of one of the fountains, and they weren't running yet, but the gold reflecting the sunrise was just incredible. And then I highly recommend getting there early and doing this. It was so worth it. And then here's another one of the bedrooms. This is the gates in the morning with the sun shining off of it. This is one of the side gates. And again, two of the postcards I used. It was a special, special trip. And hard to imagine that people actually lived like they did. How did those ladies in those dresses walk all the way around these facilities, right? And then this is Sainte-Chapelle, because Notre Dame was not open. So I was told to go look at the stained glass in this, and it was a climb up, but it was worth it. And each one of these windows is a book in the Bible on their walls. It's just really, and this is where the altar was. And this was outside on the balcony, And there's scenes carved in here from the Bible, these little Bible things. And this is one of the walls too. I'm pushing it into the side. That's what I keep doing. Cut holes in it, in the protectors, to be able to do this. And then this is the Louvre. So I've got the postcards and just things from there. We had breakfast on this balcony overlooking the courtyard. That was fun. This was a Louvre from, we took a boat tour. First night we got there, and it rained. So the pictures aren't great, but it was kind of fun. And then this is the courtyard in the middle. And then these are the fold-out ones. So here's Linda against one of the big carved pieces. And here's outside. We didn't have to wait too long. This is us with the Mona Lisa. Lots of jewels there and lots of religious icon type things that were fascinating. This is when we went, Linda wanted to go have dinner in the Eiffel Tower, so we did that. And the Olympic rings were still on here. And it rained again. Surprise! And here's this is from the boat. Here is their Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower. This is the back of the rings. Here's another one up the bottom. And then this was our view from our table. And I wanted to show another picture of the bottom of the structure because it's pretty fascinating. But it was pretty wet that night, so we didn't go out and really take a lot of pictures. And then this is the Musée d'Orsay, which is more the modern art, where like Monet's things were. And out front, these gorgeous sculptures that I know Steve would have loved. It's a converted train station, so there was a lot of trains in there. This was the balloon. I'm not showing it. This was the balloon from the opening ceremony at the Olympics. And then all these clocks and room to journal there. And then this is more of Saint-Chapelle. And this was outside it. And the drawings that they had constructed, or the architect did, to show how it was going to turn out. Pretty amazing. And then they had these little cards that told you which window was which book. Pretty cool. And then this was all we got of Notre Dame, was the outside and us with it in the background. And then, of course, it was an art trip. So we saw some of the oldest art supply stores. We made a point of going to find them. And it just totally fascinating going inside and seeing all the paint and all the wooden drawers and everything. And then there's more scenes. I went to this door because of I needed a doctor. Got stung by a bee. This had amazing. There was women in old-fashioned clothing on this. This is one of the bridges. This was around the corner from the hotel we stayed at. It was this gorgeous fountain. This was a restaurant around the corner, and they all had flowers. This was inside one of the restaurants we went to. The ceiling was just gorgeous. This was our room, and it was really nice. It was within walking distance. We could see over to the guy across the street's apartment. I thought, what a wonderful place to live. And then we had breakfast every morning and enjoyed it because we're on vacation. And then this is me in a Paris shirt. And then this is that same fountain. And we took our picture. And I didn't realize it until I looked at it later. But there's the fountain's shooting off. And this lady that was getting her picture taken, it's like it's going into her mouth. It's kind of funny. Room to journal. This was a flower shop that was up the street from our hotel, and I actually turned this into my Christmas card painting. More structure, more ceilings, and so that's my album, and it's done. These are, I'm destroying it. These are more pages that are left that I am going to put pictures on for someone special. And so this was the first with the triangles and the contrast. I mitered the corners on this. This is the matching page to that. So that'll be fun. And then the second class of the first day, this is falling off. So this goes this way and this way. So here's one side and here's the other side. And then this is, I think I will do these this way. And there. So that's the scrapbook pages. And I'm going to show you the cards I made. So this was made with the triangles and the trellis. It's pretty thick, but I really enjoyed that. Here's the trellis again and the borders. Really pretty. This one's got triangles that can, make the whole background. It's pretty. You matter. Of course you matter. Right? Triangles, and this is one of the border dies that was really pretty with roses, and it's the background there. It'd be really nice to try with other techniques. And here's more of triangles offsetting each other to create pattern. That was fun. And this second day was Leon, which I did flat fans, make it more mailable. Use some of those. And then this is another one. And you can see some of my adhesive needs strengthening. But isn't that pretty with all, this was the folded border from the one page and around the center. This is this flippy thing with more of those folded border. I need to put sentiments on some of these because I didn't want to decide that day what to do. This is where we did the paper quilling. Really thick, but fun, and it's held up by a square. This one's really pretty, same thing, held up by square. And love the colors. I love this flower in that set. And then the last day was wonderful. So this is the first card, and it flips out like that flip page did, which is nice. This one is like a trifold out thing. That'll be fun to send to somebody. Gorgeous card. This one is like a booklet, and you can put photos in here to people, or messages, or maybe a message to yourself if you wanted to. This one was the fun. I want to do more of these. These butterflies pop out. Isn't that fun? I love that. Love that technique. So many good things. If you didn't go, you lost out. So this one is a shutter card. I just did some backgrounds For mine, I didn't do photos in there, but you could do, you know, before and after photos. And then this card is like the drapery one that we did. And you can put a message in here. And then it opens that way. So those were my projects from Crop at Home 5. I had such a wonderful time, and it was so worth prepping to be ready for 3 days. And I will never forget it. It will be, every time is better, but this was the best for now. So if you have any questions, please ask, and thank you for watching. Hugs to all of you. Bye.